future All-Star right here. He has now gone back-to-back games, scoring a career-high 34 points per game, 10 rebounds in the other one, and 9 rebounds last night. If you watch this page, you know I'm a huge fan of Jonathan Kuminga's. I've been saying perennial All-Star since he was drafted, basically. But now you're starting to see it come to light. I think people forget how young he is. It seems like he's been in the league for a while, so you think he's like 25, right? He's only 22. And every night is a new highlight dunk. Poster the other night, this one was nasty. He is really starting to turn the corner. And you saw it last year when Draymond went out. He started to really show flashes. I think the reason why people get frustrated with Kuminga is because he's on the Warriors. And they are expected to be a title contender every single year with Steph Curry. And while I'm not saying he hasn't made mistakes during his time with Golden State where you might be like, why did he make that play? That does happen to every player as they develop and grow in the league. But because he is on the Warriors, he is under a huge microscope. And unlike some other players like Jalen Green, for example, who was his G League Ignite teammate, went to the Rockets, got as much playing time as he possibly could have, and was able to grow and make mistakes without a lot of scrutiny. Whereas Jonathan Kuminga, anytime he makes one mistake, not that Steve Kerr would just pull him from the game, but they don't or didn't have time to, let him make as many mistakes as some of the other young guys in his draft class. And that's not to the fault of Steve Kerr or Jonathan Kuminga. It's nobody's fault. It's just a situation that he and the Warriors are in. And so he has been blessed and lucky to be on a team that is a team with Steph Curry and Draymond Green and Steve Kerr. And his rookie year, he won a title with this team. So it's a benefit to be in a winning organization with good habits and good players to learn from. But the flip side to that is sometimes it could be difficult for a young, talented player like himself, because remember, he was the 7th overall pick. Like I said, I project him to be a perennial All-Star, and a lot of people did when he was drafted. So imagine being a perennial All-Star projection, but you're like the 3rd or 4th option on your team right away. And now he is emerging as the 2nd or 3rd option, depending on how you look at Andrew Wiggins. But he had to earn those minutes. It wasn't like Jalen Green, for example, again, who 2nd overall pick, very talented, but whether or not he was going to earn the minutes, he was going to play because the Rockets were rebuilding. And so I think Jonathan Kuminga is finally figuring out how to play in the Golden State system, because the way that they play basketball is also very difficult to learn. And I think as the years go on, he will get even better. Again, he's only 22. How many players in the NBA won a championship at 22 as the best player on their team, or one of the best players? At 22, his own teammate Steph Curry was not winning a championship. So I think we need to, obviously give him constructive criticism when he makes mistakes, but remember that he is still learning, and a lot of players at his age were not perfected. But I may be biased because, again, if you watch this page, I'm a huge fan of Jonathan Kuminga's, because I just see All-Star written all over him. If you watch him play, you know that the talent, the upside, he can literally do pretty much everything. The 2 spots where he struggles the most is the free throw line, which is something I'm sure the Warriors are working with him on, and then the 3-point line, but he's gotten way better at the threes. So I wouldn't even say he struggles at the 3-point line anymore. I don't expect him to be Steph Curry, for example, his teammate, as a 3-point shooter. I don't know what his numbers are this year, but I'm sure they're somewhere in the 30%. His real big struggle right now is the free throw line. But other than that, he can do pretty much everything else. He can score, obviously. We know he's super athletic. He can rebound the ball, even though there have been times, maybe like last year, where you want him to rebound more just because he's so athletic and tall. You're like, you should be grabbing 8 rebounds a game. And so the last 2 games, again, he's done that, 10 rebounds and 9 rebounds. All the upside is there. It's just development, development, development. I still see future perennial All-Star for him. I don't see why he can't get to that level. And in 3 years from now, we can come back to this video and see if I was right or if I was wrong.